Hi, a very good morning to your class. How are you? Welcome to my next session of English Communication Lecture 8 Module 3. So we have discussed and we have talked a lot about on personal grooming, on your dressing code and your self introduction, what kind of thing you should make a note of it while communicating with your boss, or if you are communicating with a friend, or if you are communicating with an email. So all this we have discussed. So why we are doing this? Just to make you presentable, or through this lecture I am just trying to make my students presentable in whatsoever profession they are planning to go. So these are some of the things that you should have to keep in mind while you are entering into your professional world. So nobody have a time in this busy schedule that who could come and tell you that these are the things that you have to keep in mind while going on interview. If you are in a office, then what should be your dress code, how you should communicate with your colleagues and your boss, what kind of body language you should carry out if you are going in a public meeting, or if you are going to face a large crowd of audience. Nobody is going to tell. Actually, nobody even bothers to tell. So this is the right time, and this is the best way that with this lectures you can just groom up yourself without taking help of anyone, because in this lecture I have given each and every matter which provides to be good for my students. So these things, if you recall and going to implement in your practical life, then automatically you can groom yourself according to the need of your company. So we have discussed a lot about your dressing sense, your body language, para language. Now in this we are going to study about your intellectual grooming. Intellectual means the overall presentable personality of the person. That if you are going to present yourself in front of anyone, then what are the things that you have to keep in mind? You have to take into consideration on the grooming part. You have to work on your body language, you have to work on your para language, you have to work on your facial expression. Then what are the things that you should include when a person asks for that, introduce yourself. So these are the things which proves to be very beneficial for the students who are going to enter in the professional world. Now, what is intellectual grooming? Intellectual grooming means the overall physical appearance that is required to present a person in front of a employer. So grooming is very important for creating a good image. If you want to create your good image, then grooming plays an important role, because your physically appearance actually matters in comparison to your knowledge factor. So that means both ways are important. If you are very good, if you are having a very sound knowledge of your job profile, and if you are not presentable, then that also not works. So you have to work on both the sides of the coin. You have to make your personality presentable, and you have to make yourself knowledgeable. So you have to work on both the ways. So what are the things that you have to keep in mind, or what are the things that you should do while your intellectual grooming? So this we are going to discuss. So for creating your good physical image in front of the audience, you have to groom yourself. Simple. For enhance your outer appearance, important in facing the interview. It is the theme of our professional personality. Further, it is very important for a career like in aviation and hospitality field. So aviation and hospitality field, they took your personality, your presence of personality in a very important way. Each small things they are going to teach you how you have to stand up, how you have to sit, how you have to talk to your clients, then how you should take care of yourself, how much makeup you should put in different situations, and how you should handle the situation, how you should present yourself if you have engaged in any kind of situation. So these are the things which are carried on in the aviation industry. So intellectual grooming means the overall grooming, yeah, overall development of the personality to make him presentable in the eyes of the other person, and it also helps in creating a good image. Why grooming is important? Here I have taken an example of aviation and hospitality. Pleasing personality, self-confidence, correct body posture, communication skill, good grooming, positive attitude, and time manager. So here, if you have traveled through plane, then there you have realized that there are certain air hostesses before taking off the plane. They used to explain that how should you use your oxygen mask, how you should have to tie your belt, what are the things that you have to take care of. So all these things they have to repeat again and again when they are in the flight. So, and sometimes it becomes very awkward situation that the person is explaining something and the customer who are traveling in the plane, they even not bother, they start talking among themselves. So it looks very bad because those people are doing a job. They have to tell you each and every time because they are their duty to tell. So that means they have a very high kind of patience in them. Say if you are going to do one thing on a repeated basis, then one day or the other day you find it boring, but the person who belong to aviation industry, especially the air hostesses, they have to tell each and everything again and again. If they are traveling thrice a day in a flight, then every time they have to repeat those actions of using oxygen mask, of how you tie up your belt, what are the things that in case of emergency, how you can open the emergency window. So these are the things that they have to discuss on repeated times. So this reflects their positive attitude because every time they have to put a smile on your face. If a person have done vomiting also and the air hostess used to clean that vomiting, at that moment of time she has to carry a smile on the face with positive attitude. Why? It reflects that she loves what she is doing. So always take or carry a positive attitude in the place where you are working, and always build a kind of belongingness with your working place. Always enjoy your work, so it automatically create a positive attitude in your personality. Pleasing personality. So how you can make your personality pleasing? A pleasing personality is achieved by cultivating desirable qualities while avoiding unbecoming habits. A positive attitude, flexibility in dealing with different people or situations, and sincerity in relationship will endear others to you. A pleasing personality can be of great benefit in one's lifestyle. So that means प्लीजिंग पर्सनालिटी वो पर्सनालिटी होती है जिसको देख के यू फील गुड, जिसको देख के आपको लगता है हाँ ही बिलोंग्स टू अ वेरी हाई क्लास सोसाइटी, और ही बिलोंग्स टू अ वेरी गुड कंपनी, और ही इज़ वर्किंग ऑन अ वेरी हाई प्रोफाइल. जब ये सारे थॉट्स आपके माइंड में आए किसी की पर्सनालिटी को देखने के बाद, दैट मीन्स दैट पर्सन हैज़ अ प्लीजिंग पर्सनालिटी और अट्रैक्टिव पर्सनालिटी, जिसको बार बार देखने का मन करे. दैट मीन्स द पर्सन इज हैविंग pleasing personality. So if you are having all these qualities, then ultimately your personality will become pleasing and attractive. Self-confidence. Self-confidence plays a very important role in carrying your personality. If you are feeling to face something which you don't like, but you have to face in any way because it is a part of your job. So at that place or at that moment of time, self confidence plays a very important role. That means self confidence means you should have belief in yourself. Whatever you are doing, you have to do with a good spirit. Never criticize your actions. Always do your actions with a positive attitude. Doing what you believe to be right, even if others mock or criticize you for it. If you are doing something right, but there is a problem with other person that he or she always used to criticize on what you do. So never take those statements seriously. So always do everything with a positive note and always admit your mistakes, because whenever you admit or realize your mistake, you should always learn from that mistake. So never avoid or never run off from this situation or never run off from your mistakes. Always try to admit your mistake and learn from that mistake. It helps you in your nearby future. Correct body posture. If you are presenting yourself and if you are presenting your organization, then what kind of body posture you should carry? A person body language is the graph of its personality. The characteristics of correct body posture is that which connect enthusiasm, confidence, alertness and well-being. The picture you can see, with that picture you can depict that he is a very well-groomed person, very knowledgeable person, very sincere person and very intellectual also. So you have to use a correct body posture or correct body language according to the situation in which you are working. Communication skills. So communication skills, for that you have to be a good listener. If you are a good speaker, then you have to be a good listener as well. Being able to communicate effectively is the most important of all life skills. If you want to communicate anything to the person, no matters, it's not compulsory that that thing become easily understandable to the other person, but you have to use certain group of words, certain communication skills to make what you are saying understandable to the other person. That means correct use of words, correct use of communication skills which you are using to convey your message or to convey your information to the other person. Communication is the most important thing in any organization. Without communication, nothing works. So communication can be regarded as the lifeblood of any business organization. If there is no blood, how can a person survive? As blood is important for the human body, in the same way communication is also important for the company as well. Good grooming versus bad grooming. So here are some of the percentages, and here are the two pictures. With these two pictures you can easily depict that what kind of personality you have to carry, whether you want to be look in a good grooming or whether you want to be in a bad grooming. So these are the things which you should take care of while grooming yourself. Time manager. Time manager means you should be a time punctual no matters whether you are in your house or whether you are outside your house or whether you are at your working place, but you should be a time punctual. You should be having quality of punctuality, because if you are punctual, then everything is going to be wind off in a set time period. It is saying that if you value time, time will value you. So always value the time, because जो समय गुजर जाता है वो दोबारा वापस नहीं आता. इसीलिए try to value the time. If you will value the time, then time will automatically value you also. The time is precious in everywhere. Our timing and punctuality is very important, and even it shows that value we are paying towards that thing. That means how loyal we are toward a particular thing. So ऑलवेज कीप योर टाइम मैनेजमेंट। जब हम स्कूल में जाते हैं तो हमको एक टाइम टेबल मिलता है ना कि 9 से 9:30 का ये लेक्चर होगा, 9:30 से 10 ये लेक्चर होगा। तो दैट मीन्स इवन द टीचर्स एज वेल एज द स्टूडेंट्स आर mentally prepared that from this time to this time we have to be in this school and we have to go through all these subjects on a particular day. So that means time management is an important factor in making a person successful. So always keep your time management ready according to the organization working culture. Attire. Attire means the overall presence. Attire means what kind of dressing sense you are carrying, or how you will present yourself, or how you will present your personality in front of the other person. That is known as an attire. The standard dress code in a business formal environment is a full matching business suit including a jacket and dress pants or a dress skirt. The darker the suit, the more formal. As much as the shade of your suit is darker, that means it becomes more formal. By seeing your dress code, anybody can realize that you are in a formal attire. That why you are going, if you are traveling in a metro and you are in a full attire of professionalism, then anybody can depict or anybody can tell you that you are going for a business meeting. Why? Because your attire is in a business formal. Casual wear. For men, seasonal sport coat or blazer with slacks or khakis, dress shirt with optional tie or casual button down shirt, open collar or polo shirt, loafers or loafer style shoes and socks. So casual wear means that every Saturday is a casual wear day in most of the companies. So on that day you have to carry yourself on casual form, but there are certain guidelines as well that what are the things that are included in casual wear for men and women. For women, skirt, khakis or pants, open collar shirt, knit shirt or sweater, no spaghetti straps or décolleté, and casual style dress. That means these are the form of casual wear which you can wear on only one day, which is known as an casual day in some of the companies. Casual wear. So these are the photos of casual wear for men as well as for women. Grooming standards makeup, especially for the girls and especially for the ladies who are very fond of putting a lot of makeup. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind. Always apply a light shade of lipstick. Always apply a very thin line of eyeliner and lipstick on your lips as well. So if you want to have a makeup, just apply on a minimum basis according to the need of the time. Height and weight ratio chart. That means these are the height of, and according to their height what weight you should have of men and women. So if your height is 5, then the accurate weight for men is 50 to 54 and for women 50.8 to 54.4. It is a actual weight that a person has to carry according to the height. So if a person is having 6'3" height, then he should have a weight of 79.8 and 285.9. That means these are the things that you have to take care of if your height and weight is according to the chart. So try to follow this chart in which the height and weight should be given. It is not easy to maintain yourself according to this chart, but at least you can give it a try. Why do you think it is important to present yourself as a professional in an interview? very important thing, that if you are going for an interview, then what kind of body language or what kind of dressing sense you should have. So that means if you are going for an interview, you should have a professional look. It is very important to present yourself as a professional, because the company has to be convinced that you are mature. Your dressing sense creates a first impression in the eyes of the company. That means if you are have a good dressing professional sense, then it makes easy for the company to judge your level of maturity. I will not damage the reputation of the company if I am selected. That means your personality speaks, that if you have dressed up according to the need of the company, it becomes easy for the company to decide whether the person after selection is become serious regarding the job profile or not. The first impression is the last impression. The world takes you seriously when you are well groomed. If you are going to present yourself in a well mannered, in a well groomed manner, then the world will take you seriously. A well groomed personality speaks value about your character. If a person is being well dressed up and all of a sudden if that person enters in the class, then what is the reaction of the students? Suddenly students will stand up and they are going to wish good morning or good afternoon. Why? Because that person is carrying himself in a well mannered way according to the work culture of the business. And if a peon is going to come for paper signing, so nobody going to stand, because the dressing sense of a person really matters. काम तो दोनों ने वही किया कि एक वेल ग्रूम पर्सन क्लास में आया, तब बच्चे उठ के खड़े हुए और उन्होंने उसको गुड आफ्टरनून या गुड इवनिंग विश किया. लेकिन जब पियोन आया तो कोई भी बच्चा उठा नहीं. वाई? ड्रेसिंग सेंस मैटर्स. So if you want to be a good in the eyes of the public, and if you want to have a respect, then you should have a well groomed personality. A well groomed personality speaks value about your character. If you are dressed up in a very professional way, then nothing you have to speak about yourself. Everybody can understand what kind of a person you are if you are in a very well professional dressing sense. Things to remember: if you are working in a company and if you are going for a professional work or professional meeting, then these are the things that you have to keep in mind. No sleeveless shirts. That means no sleeveless shirts are allowed. It is an indication. If you are wearing a sleeveless shirt, then it means you are not serious about your work. Have your clothes pressed. There should not be a single wrinkle on your clothes. So you should always have to wear a well pressed clothes. No open toe shoes. No open toe shoes means कभी भी आप ऐसे शूज़ मत पहनिए कि जो आगे से फट गए हैं या जिसकी सिलाई आगे से खुल गई है. नेवर वियर दो शूज़, बिकॉज शूज़ आर द बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स ऑफ द पर्सनालिटी. मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया कि a person can easily judge by the shoes he is wearing. If your shoes are not polished and you have dressed up very well, then automatically your impression will be a kind of negative impression in the other's mind, because your shoes are not polished. So always polish your shoes. Pantyhose for women, socks for men. Clothes should be comfortable. Whatever you are wearing in your working place, you should feel comfortable and wear it with full confidence. Avoid too tight and too short. Avoid too tight clothes and too short clothes in your working place. Everything should be clean, nothing torn or worn. One thing that you have to keep in notice, that Socks for men should be properly washed every day, because a very kind of bad smell used to coming out of the socks, and it becomes very difficult for the other person to maintain their sitting arrangement at that place, because it the smell is very weird, it cannot be tolerable. So try to wash your socks each day, and every day you have to wear a fresh piece of cloth. Make a positive and genuine connection to your co-workers and business associate. Ask how are you and really mean it. So whenever you are entering in your working organization, try to maintain communication with everyone, no matters if a person is your co-worker, your colleague, or a person is a sweeper, or a person is a peon. Try to maintain a contact with all the person by saying or asking how are you, and your expression should be such that you really mean it to ask how is the other person. Ask about family, friends, hobbies, vacations, remember details, maintain eye contact, which is very important, that always whenever you are in a process of communication, always you have to be in a regular eye contact. Keep your language clean, no cursing or swearing. Bring treats to the break room. Join in office activities, fundraisers, and even send prompt thank you notes or letters. If a person had helped you in other or the any situation, then always thank him promptly, because it helps to create a good relationship or good working culture or a good bonding between the person. So always carry a positive attitude once you are entering at your working place. Presence. What is the meaning of presence? You should present yourself, or your presence should mean a lot for everything. Show confidence, attentiveness, enthusiasm through excellent posture. Present a positive, open, and friendly expression. Smile often, maintain respectful eye contact, use clean and proper language, shake hands firmly and warmly. If you keep all these things in mind, then it make you feel your presence in the place. Culture and expectations vary. No matters whether you like the working culture of each and every company, it's not true, and whether your every or each expectation can be fulfilled easily, but not only between organization and groups, but also between nations and national regions. Cultures and expectations vary from person to person or place to place. We have discussed generalities that will serve you well in most situations. People will know you are not from around here. Most are patient, they will help you cope and learn. Do your due diligence. Always study lines before going into the lion's cave. Means if you are entering in the new word, then always have an idea of that word. Preparing ahead, earn respect. Take advice from those you trust. If you want to take an advice, then always take the advice from the person to whom you have trusted. So these are the things that you have to follow. Mantras for grooming. So these are certain points you have to gone through. 3 interconnected subject: personal grooming, organization skills, and self-awareness. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind while entering into a professional world. Personal grooming, that means overall personality, or overall the presence of your personality in a physical form, that what are the things that you have to take into consideration while presenting yourself in front of the organization. So personal grooming, here we have discussed about body language, para language, body postures, facial expression, all the things you have to include in your personal grooming. Your dressing sense, what kind of dress code you should have if you are going for a meeting or if you are going for an interview. Organizational skills, what are the skills that are required for your job profile? You should have those skills as well. Self awareness, that means you have to be aware about the working culture of the organization, about the rules and regulation, what actually organization wants from you. So this all includes in self awareness. Three essential components of success: put the pieces together. That means you put the pieces together. That means you have to be a good team player and you have to be a good team leader as well. Enable your performance, thereby always try to improve your performance. Show your performance by participating in the events which is used to be happen at your working place. Go in the parties. If you have any kind of formal event or informal party, try to attend that. Make your presence feel at that particular period of time. Allows you to move forward into an increasingly brightness way. That means these are the things that helps you in the process of grooming. So from this lecture, I think you should have know that what are the things that you should keep in mind while grooming yourself according to the working culture of a particular company. So what are the grooming standards? That a company have a iCard by which the person can be easily identifiable, that what is the name of the person, in which department he is working, and what designation he is having in the organization. So there is no need to ask each and every time the person name, the job profile, the department. So from the ID card it can easily identify that what is the all information of the person. So all employees should wear the identification card, which we know as an ID card. If the ID card is lost or misplaced, please report to Human Resource Department immediately. If due to some reason or the other you are not having your ID card, then promptly you have to inform the HR department so that they can make a new ID card for you in a given period of time. So why ID card is important? Because every time there is no such time on anyone to ask you about your personal or professional introduction. So it is a kind of formal introduction that is used to print on your iCard. By seeing on the iCard, the person can easily know what is your name, what is your department, what is your job profile. So these are the common things that everybody came to know only with the help of the ID card. That's why wearing iCard in organization is mandatory. So this is for all for this session. So in intellectual grooming we have discussed a lot, so try to practice and implement these things which I have make you discussed in this session. And this is for all this session. We will meet in the next interesting session. So till then, take care, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you.